Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Right? If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you and the Nine of Cups, happiness. Pursuing our bliss, pursuing our happiness, following what our heart really desires for our life. Not just in the physical realm, right? It's physical, mental, emotional, and psychic, spiritual, creative, right? Let's put this into some context. The Nine of Cups is probably the best card that there is in the tarot pack. I'll let you in on a little secret there. We have also the Queen of Wands. So I feel like you're learning new ways of satisfying these deep soul desires that you have, right? The deep kind of mission, the sense of purpose of your life. You're finding new ways to express your Nine of Cups, your happiness, right? And it's interesting because the Nine of Cups is not a finished state, right? It's not just you have happiness and there you're done, your work is over. No, you're constantly evolving and growing. And with the Queen of Cups here, this is kind of saying that there's no limit, there's no end to what you can discover about yourself and what kind of life you can lead, right? If it's centered around this Nine of Cups, the pursuit of happiness, the following your bliss. And that is an experience that will continue to evolve as you evolve. There's a Seven of Pentacles, some fixed fire energy with the Prince of Wands, the Devil energy. Ooh, an Ace of Pentacles, very nice. We have a Ten of Cups now. See, this is the kind of finished state. This is now we have something to kind of oscillate between a 9 and a 10, 9 and a 10. So by constantly going from fulfillment to now there's something else that you're striving for, I think you're learning a lot about yourself. You're exploring the depths of your own soul, but you're also Ace of Pentacles. You're also creating more opportunities for yourself. So this is very nice. We have an Eight of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune is very good. And the Hermit energy. Okay. All right. We're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We are just going to set aside. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right there on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, okay? It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. But if at any point during the reading you feel like you might know what that card is, you have a hunch, put your answer down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right, let's get started. Bear with me today. I am still a little bit under the weather. Okay, so we've got three major arcana energies. And what this really feels like is kind of a lot of focus on your part. I almost feel as if you are you're kind of withdrawn lately. You might be kind of more focused on your inner work, more focused on your goals than on, being, let's say, out in the world, socializing, especially with the transition into the new year and the holidays are coming up. And when all of that stuff is said and done, I think you really just kind of go, you go a little bit hermit, right? You go nose to the grindstone and you're just going to get to work, right? Because you have a lot of plans, a lot of things that you're building. I don't really even know where to start. There's a lot of good energy here. We've got some fire here, which is very important. We obviously have a lot of water. We have a little bit of air, which I think is going to tie these two cards together, okay? And then we've got our earth energy here and here. So maybe we should start with the Nine of Cups and just talk a little bit more about this. Again, this is the pursuit of happiness, okay? So you're going to be continuing excuse me, continuing along these lines of pursuing your best life, right? Pursuing your sense of destiny and purpose and meaning. Okay. And I think that we can't not talk about the Queen of Cups in the same sentence here. Because the more you are discovering about yourself, the more you're able to refine this idea of, what is my purpose? What am I meant to do? Where am I supposed to be headed? Right? So the Queen of Cups is an emotional transparency, that we're able to really be honest about the things that we want and the things we don't want. Right? I see that you've been focused on a lot of things in the past that you've given them your all, and they haven't really worked out. That's because they weren't meant for you. It's because that wasn't in line with your core ideals, right? So I think with the Queen of Cups, we're being honest about the things that we maybe have committed to that we really aren't into anymore, and we don't really want those things anymore. So you're someone that now has a tremendous focus. And if you're going to pursue something with all of your energy, it's got to be something that's Nine of Cups worthy, right? Something that either has, it's either contributing to your physical, mental, emotional, or psychic, spiritual, creative fulfillment. All three levels would be ideal, right? To find that one path in your life that has all of these, that can fulfill all of these needs and desires for you. Usually, I think people find something that fulfills maybe one of these cups, and they think, well, that's pretty good. I'm gonna stick with that. But I think you're somebody that's realizing that you can't just have that. You can't only have a life that is maybe physically rewarding, or maybe there's just some creativity to it, but the rest is not very not flourishing, really. You're somebody now that is trying to find the bliss in life generally, right? That's why this isn't a career reading necessarily. It's not a romantic reading. It's a life reading, right? You want a life that is satisfying on all of the different levels of being, right? Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative. So I think the Queen of Cups is really about being honest with yourself emotionally, and learning from the things that we've done in the past to know what we don't want and what we do want. Go after more of that good stuff, right? And I think that's what's going on here. The Seven of Pentacles underneath the surface, you've had experiences, you've had challenges, you've committed to things that haven't worked out, right? So I think that we're moving from this idea of putting in a lot of effort to things that don't work for us, because we see the effort here. You've got effort, you've got drive, you've got ambition, you've got power, you've got energy. That's not the issue. I think the issue is that you've been putting it into the wrong things, and those things haven't been working out, and it's kind of difficult to not get into an Eight of Swords about it, right? The Seven of Pentacles is, let's say it's failure, but failure is really just the prototype for success, right? We're learning where the bugs are. We're learning what isn't working so we can fix it. Yeah. So maybe for some of you this is mostly a career thing, or kind of a creative expression. It's the work that you do. Okay. It doesn't have to be the work you do for money, although money is definitely one of the cups in our Nine of Cups, right? There's I think maybe one thing that's missing, and I think you've felt that a lot in the work that you've done. And again, when I say work, it's not just what you do for money, it's just where you put your effort every day, right? But I almost feel like there's something missing, right? Maybe you couldn't really put your finger on what that was. It's one of these cups, I think, because it's interesting that as soon as we figure out what that thing is, which I think is the discovery of the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Cups, we have that Ace of Pentacles. We have 9 plus 1, and then we get the 10 over here, right? And I think that's the missing. I think this Ace of Pentacles is the missing component that this needs in order to be successful, okay? So this could be, you find yourself in a situation and it seems like it should be fine. It seems like everything should work. That's Seven of Pentacles, right? We've done all the work. Why doesn't this feel like it's working, right? And I think that's because there's always this feeling that something is missing, that there's one component of this that's not, either there's just not the right kind of spiritual resonance, or you're just not feeling right about it, or it's like there's one thing that's just kind of off, right? But I think we're discovering what that is, and that's going to be in this future position with the Ace of Pentacles. But let's finish the rest of these cards here. The Prince of Wands here is your activity. This is when you commit to something, you stay committed, right? And for you, it's really about, as long as something can hold your interest, can hold your attention, you're not going to get bored with it. You're not going to kind of, start shifting or leaning over to something else. You're very much, you're very responsive to the energy coming off of other people or from other situations. So as long as your work remains interesting, right, then you could be doing that, for the rest of your life. You have that capability to really commit. So a lot of you probably have, I feel like you've had a lot of different jobs in your life, but each job, maybe when you start it, you think, I could do this forever. This would be great. And maybe you do it for a year or 2 or 5, and then there's that feeling that there's one thing missing. There's just something about it that's not fulfilling me in every way that this job should, or this career, or this relationship, or this creative outlet, or whatever it is. And then I think you end up moving on. But it's not like the ability to commit isn't there. It just has to be the right thing. It has to have all of the components, right? Looking up above, we see this devil energy at the top here. And I think that in a lot of ways this is your ambition. You really want to challenge yourself. You're someone that likes the challenge. You like to push yourself in new directions. Seems like you're always looking for a mountain to climb, but you might be one of those people that you'll get halfway up, you'll feel like something's missing, and then not my mountain, right? Then we're off looking for something else. And this is a dangerous cycle, because then we don't really get to the top of any one particular mountain. You have everything that you need, but there's just something about that mountain that you don't like. Something feels like it's missing, and then we move on to a different one, right? So in essence, we're not reaching the very summit of the mountain in any particular area. Okay, but again, it's not a fear of commitment, and by any means, the will to commit, the will to follow through is there, but it's missing some kind of it could be missing a physical component. It could be that everything's great, but it's just not paying the bills, or it could be, hey, it's paying the bills, but I just don't have that kind of spiritual connection with it. Okay, but the Ace here, in the future position, this is telling me that you will reach the summit of one of these mountains, whichever one you're approaching right now in your life. The very next one, I think you're going to find that it has whatever is missing. Whatever has been missing, I think you will be discovering it. Okay. In some ways, the Ace represents the summit of the mountain and not necessarily the beginning of the mountain. Okay. A lot of the time we'll look at an Ace and we'll think, well, that's the beginning, right? Ace, 2, 3, all the way to 10. But I think if you're climbing upwards, why wouldn't we start at the 10 and go all the way to the Ace, right? So maybe the project that you're currently working on, I think you will discover in the next month that it has everything you need. It could be a relationship, it could be a family thing, it could be a work thing, a career, a university, education thing, whatever it is. I think you're going to find that it has that missing piece. It has that one something, that je ne sais quoi that none of the other ones had. Yeah. I think that's what we're discovering. Now we're going to move to the path of the serpent. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It doesn't cost you anything. It's totally free. Okay? And leave some comments for me. I really do enjoy reading all of your comments. Okay? Ten of Cups. This is complete fulfillment. This is now how we're looking at this, and we're thinking, wow, this work that I'm doing now, you're doing this interior work, right? This kind of self-discovery, learning what you want, what you don't want, and what you require in your kind of the best version of your life. And now you're seeing that that is actually paying off, that now this is materializing. So we have this feeling of being satiated, of being full, of being satisfied, right? It's like you've been at the buffet and you've sampled everything that they have there, and you found that perfect combination of different ingredients or different dishes, right, to put on your plate, and now you've made the perfect plate, you know. And I think now all that's left is for you to enjoy it, to sit down and do it, and live this life that you've built or that you've discovered. But I see that there's a little bit of a problem with that. And I don't know if that has something to do with your intimate relationships. The Eight of Swords here, like I said, is sometimes connected. It will connect the Prince of Wands here, because they share an air energy, these two cards. So there's almost this feeling of the idea of commitment. And I wonder if with the Eight of Swords, if you're wanting to go forward in this particular direction, but there are other people in your life, or there's one particular someone in your life that doesn't feel the same way you do about this particular project. Maybe this is a career thing, and it's got everything you want. It has that one thing that none of the other ones have, but you're still a little torn by it, because I think there might be someone in your life that doesn't want to go that direction with you. I feel like there's a lot of people talking at you, you know, differing opinions. And I feel like this feels absolutely right in yourself, in your soul, in your spirit. It feels absolutely right, but there are other people that are kind of telling you different opinions. And maybe that's why we had this idea of this kind of solo, buckling down, nose to the grindstone kind of thing after the holidays. Maybe this new adventure is going to be one for you to embark upon solo. Okay? Because I feel like there is a lot of chatter in your environment that's keeping you from moving forward, from going, ahead with this thing. It could be this is the perfect relationship, right? You found the perfect person for you, but there's other people in your life, friends, family, that are trying to tell you, no, don't go in that direction. Stay here with us. It could be the same if this is more career-related, more creative kind of projects. The Eight of Swords sometimes says that, hey, we can't please everybody all the time. That you have to have this emotional transparency of the Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups, in order to have this certainty for yourself. We can't let other people force their opinions on us and force us to start doubting our own feelings, our own convictions. Okay? We've got that Wheel of Fortune coming next. That's the difficulty. It's in the position of what is difficult for you. And I think what's difficult for you is to accept that this is the absolute best thing for you, even if it means you have to leave some of these naysayers behind. This is what the universe has for you. And just because you're starting to turn up toward the top of this wheel, and perhaps other people around you aren't, doesn't mean that you should sacrifice your ascension, that you should sacrifice your progress or success because there are these naysayers in your life. And we don't know why they're naysayers, right? Maybe they just, maybe there's some envy. Maybe there's this feeling for them that they don't want to be left behind. I don't know. This isn't a reading for them. This is a reading for you, and it says that you have to accept this really wonderful gift almost that you're being offered with this Ace of Pentacles, finding that the current thing on your mind that you are wanting to go forward with is going to have, it's going to prove itself to you that it has that one thing that none of the other ones had. And that is a gift from the divine. That is divine timing. You have to accept this gift now. We don't know if it's going to come knocking at your door again, right? And this is the Jupiter energy that says you have to trust in the process. You have to trust in yourself, not trust in the chatter coming from different corners. Yeah. We do have that Hermit at the end there, and maybe the Hermit is literally what it looks like. Maybe this is a path for you and you alone, and maybe these naysayers, they can shout and plead all they want, but this is something that you have to embark upon yourself. The Hermit might literally be the Hermit. Sometimes the goat likes to climb that mountain all by itself. Sometimes the Hermit is going to go on this journey, themselves. It's the Hermit's trying to get out of this feeling of, if I go, I'm a bad person to these people, but if I stay, then I'm betraying my destiny, right? So it's kind of like it's a lose-lose situation for you, right? Either whatever you choose, there's going to be some level of guilt or remorse. Now, I don't know who these people are that you feel like maybe you're leaving behind, or you're going against their opinions, which, hey, you know what they say about opinions, right? Everyone's got one. But I do feel as if this is something that you have to do. This is a quest for you. Yeah. To fully immerse yourself in this current thing, whatever it is that you're pursuing, to see that it indeed does have that one thing that none of the other ones had. Okay? And that's your discovery, that's your spiritual path. Maybe maybe the mystery card can help us with a little bit of clarity on this one. Let's see what we've got with Tiny Bob Ross here. I do apologize for my voice today. Okay, I don't know. I'm so congested right now, I can't get a clear picture of this one. I think it's going to be some nice, well-established earth energy, right? Like a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. I think it could be an Empress card. Okay. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh, 3 of Pentacles. Okay. All right, 3 of Pentacles. Yeah. This is, I think, the issue here is getting away from this air energy. Because if your body is ready to go, your heart says, yes, this is it. I feel it. We got this water energy right here, this heart. But then your mind is saying, yeah, but, my friends, my family, I'd have to leave where I grew up. I'd have to travel, whatever it is. Whatever the doubts are in this 8 of Swords is going to interrupt the proper functioning of this path. The 3 of Pentacles is understanding the process of creation on the physical plane. You need your body, you need your mind, you need your heart. The Trinity has to be a unity in order for this to really work. Right? If your mind and your heart are in it, but your body doesn't want to cooperate, that's a problem. If your mind and your body are saying, yeah, okay, we can do this, but your heart's not in it, it's not going to work. And, the same if your mind is elsewhere. If your mind is tied up in these thoughts, these doubts, these other relationships that are keeping you tied to where you have been and that are not trying to get you where you're going, then there's a disconnect within us, right? So that's a big part of the work for you, and that's why we might have to cut some ties. The Hermit has no problem cutting through the tangle of wires that are the 8 swords here. Because I feel like it's something or someone that's keeping you tied to where you are rather than assisting you in moving forward. Okay. Now we're going to explore a little bit further in the extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link either above or below. I'm usually here every day from 6 to 8 a.m. Chicago time. Come back and see me again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. You can send some comments my way. I do enjoy reading all of the comments. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.